plaintiff, Lehigh Jordan Tolstrup, has been married to the defendant for 11 years, but their marriage became strained while he was in the Army and was deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. Lehigh claims that he and the defendant are now separated, and he's suing her today for unreturned property. Defendant Heather Tolstrup says everything was fine in their marriage until she discovered Lehigh was having an affair with another soldier. Heather claims she wanted to save their marriage, but Lehigh was in love with his mistress. She's countersuing for storage fees, harassment, and emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. We now be seated.
Start with you.
We've been married for 11 years. I was in the Army. I deployed 3 times to Iraq and Afghanistan. During that time, our marriage became strained.
Why do you think?
A lot of it, I had depression, been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, and then, of course, I was unfaithful in our marriage.
When you returned home, obviously?
Yes.
When did you return home from the military?
Last September, last year.
And the problems began then?
No, the problems began in January of 2014.
And you were
January 2015.
So what stage of your service were you in then?
I was active duty stationed in Hawaii.
And she wasn't there?
No, my whole family was there.
Okay.
I became pretty depressed, and I was just looking for,
okay.
I don't know what I was looking for.
But you hadn't been discharged?
That's
No.
not what
Let her finish, man. Let him finish. Let him. All right. Does he suffer from post-traumatic syndrome?
He wasn't diagnosed until after.
So the answer is yes. And you're over there laughing. When were you diagnosed?
When I was diagnosed, I was diagnosed in February of 2016.
Okay, and your symptoms began when, in your opinion?
It was just a gradual decline.
And when did you return from combat?
I came back the last time, July of 2012.
Here you fought for our country, and you went 4 years suffering without knowing why you had this erratic behavior and this depression.
I also went to alcohol rehab.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking all this. And nothing funny about this, ma'am. Whatever happened with the two of you all, this isn't funny unless he's lying.
No, it's not funny. It's
Okay.
just the timelines differ. He wasn't diagnosed with, well, I'll start from the beginning. In May of 2015, I found through text messages on his iPad that he was having an affair with one of his soldiers. He agreed that he actually pulled out a gun case after he found out that I had found out and was threatening me and my friends. And his unit put him on a 72-hour no contact order. And during that time, we both showed up to this divorce briefing you have to do in Hawaii. And he asked me to go talk to his chain of command and the chaplain with him, and I agreed to. I wanted to make our marriage work. He agreed to go to marriage counseling. We had our first session that Saturday, and he showed up and said that he didn't want to make our marriage work. He was in love with this other girl, wanted to marry her, wanted a divorce.
When was that?
This was in May of 2016. And it was just a long, drawn-out spiral since then.
But prior to that, sounds
he was
like
not
there was
diagnosed.
something that caused a breakdown in the marriage.
There was a lack of communication. I wasn't able to talk to him. He would seclude himself. He'd stay on his PlayStation in his man cave, not come down for dinner or anything.
When do you believe he began this relationship with another woman?
I know she came to his birthday party in November.
That's not true.
The November before that May.
That's not true.
She was there.
That's not true.
I don't know if that's when they started seeing each other. I know a couple of weeks prior to me finding out about it, he went out with his unit as a group, and she was there.
Do you want to give me some information on what she's referring to and anything else regarding the breakdown of the marriage?
I mean, Your Honor, it was a lack of communication. It was, but this woman never came to my birthday party. I didn't even meet her until April of 2015. We went to counseling. Yes, in counseling, there's things said that, you know, I regret.
You threw divorce
I
papers
brought
in my
divorce
face.
papers.
Quiet, ma'am.
I did bring divorce papers to our counseling, but after attending the court-mandated class that we had to attend, I said I didn't want to get divorced. And then during that time period, she met another man.
What
and she
time
began a
period is
relationship.
that?
So that was July of 2015.
All right.
Yeah.
Both of y'all were talking to these folks before you came to find out.
But
You were
here-
talking to that man, and he was probably talking to that woman. But let me provide another opinion on his situation. I don't mean to give him a pass, but I like to explain from a perspective of health. When you suffer from depression, you try and find ways to feel good. And that's why many of them go to drugs, or they go to another woman, or they engage in reckless behavior. And it is a fact that psychological or psychiatric disorders or imbalances in the brain go hand in hand with addiction. So you all who have children who have been diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, bipolar, and depression, you all get an understanding of that so that you don't just think, as many folks just think, you got a bad kid. And thank you for your service. Thank you for the sacrifice. All right, so the unreturned property, tell me about this.
Right before I was getting discharged, the military moved us. We were stationed in Hawaii. They moved us from back to Texas, I'm sorry. And all of our household goods went into a storage unit. The storage unit she signed for, she didn't put me on the lease. So she put herself, she put her mother, and she put her sister on the lease, but didn't put me on.
How about sport coat?
Sport coat?
The guy.
Oh, well, as soon as...
Put him on the lease.
That was a very temporary thing, and once I left Hawaii.
It was temporary. That's why I call it
It's
sport
actually
coat. That's
months before I
exactly why. Short term, just like you said. I knew what I was talking about. Sport coat. All right.
Gotcha.
All right. She didn't put your name on it, and as a result, what happened?
When I came to Texas after being discharged, she wouldn't return any of my property. So I've been asking from September of 2016 until now to get my property, which she still won't give it to me.
Ma'am?
Well, with the whole him cheating, me finding out, there was a bunch of back and forth. I had to call the MPs, the military police, a few times on him when he would threaten me and get loud. And actually, the neighbors called one time, and I decided, it's not healthy for me and the kids to be here. So he filed for an ERD, which is an early release of dependents, where the military will send me, the kids, and our household belongings to wherever we want to go. And then when I wanted to access the ERD and send me and the kids come back to Texas to live with my sister to get away from the situation, he filed a restraining order against me on behalf of the kids and had me kicked out of the house for 12 days because he didn't want me to leave. He wanted to make the marriage work.
That's not true.
I knew it was over.
How many days of school did our kids miss?
That's not why you filed the restraining
How many
order.
days of school did our kids
Our kids missed a lot of school, but
Why?
in between,
And who took them to school?
Yeah, they missed a lot of school because during his outbursts and
Because you're
stuff.
seeing your boyfriend.
No, not because I was seeing my boyfriend. Because
Sport coat.
Sport coat. I'm sorry.
okay, what do you call a girl?
Boyfriends
Because
hang
he
around.
acts like he didn't have them.
Pardon?
What's the lady version of a sport coat? Because he's had a few.
Yours isn't with you either?
Oh
mini
no,
skirt, mini
we
skirt.
saw him talking to her in October.
Mini
he
skirt.
actually said he was going to move her. She was supposed to move to Texas
He's gonna move
a few
mini
months
skirt?
ago.
I was not going to move to miniskirt.
Yeah,
Well,
she
sport
had
coat
a
and
baby.
miniskirt, they're
that
probably
might
together
be
now.
his. Yeah. Oh, she got pregnant. Or I found out
Really?
around July that she was pregnant. Didn't know whose it is. We still don't know if it's his or not. Miniskirt might have
You
his
all can
little.
come back for that.
Yeah.
So what about the property, though? How did it... Tell me about that.
After the ERD or after the restraining order got dropped, he'll come to Texas. When he's out process, we'll see what happens. About a month after I came to Texas, he had sent his iPad with our youngest daughter, which is still hooked up to his cloud account. So a month after I get to Texas, I find messages between him and another woman where he's clearly having an affair with her as well. So at that point, I decided the marriage it's done. We're
Got that part.
working it
Well,
out.
we're going to get to this
So
property.
he wants. So he was helping out with the kids. sending money, and then he just quit. And his
property.
property's in
What
there,
about
but
this property?
that we seem to differ on what he considers his personal property. He started investing his money into Jordans. We're talking like 80 pairs of shoes.
Did you store any of his personal property
His personal
without
property is
giving
in
him
there.
a key or access?
He doesn't have access because he wants the Jordans, and he drains
And my
his personal
military-
savings
All right.
account.
Why haven't you all
and I have no
divorced?
problem giving you that.
Why haven't you all divorced?
The reason we
Yeah,
haven't
why haven't
divorced,
we?
and this is funny, in Texas, you have to live in the county for 6 months before you can file.
Not according to you. You told me I could file at any time.
Okay. So she's been in Texas, in Denton County, since March of last year. She has not filed, and she clearly.
You all don't want to get divorced. What's your counterclaim
filed.
for? You haven't. So all this time. It's been 2 years
I
nearly.
don't have money to.
Go on the internet, have a printout of a sample divorce, and do-it-yourself divorce. You take that down to the court. Say, I'm filing this, and see if the judge will grant what I'm requesting. Boom. Judge says no. You got to come in for a hearing. You all come in for a hearing in front of the judge. You air your grievances as you are today, and the judge will decide who receives what. That judge, not me. I hope you're listening to that carefully, because I can't give you a bit of help today. I can't give a judgment to divide property among married couple. It's joint property. So you all have to go to the divorce court before you can address any property issues. She's withholding her own property. So you got me? It's joint property. All right, have a good day. Both your claims are dismissed.
I have nothing to say.
I have nothing to say to her.
Just leave me alone.
Give me my stuff.
Don't talk to me
Give me
unless
my
it
stuff.
concerns the kids.
Give me my stuff.
Quit harassing me.
Give me my stuff.
You're not.
Give me my
this
stuff.
is divorce court. That's what I told you
Give
in
me
the
my
beginning.
stuff. So then divorce me.
I don't have money.
So get
you
a
don't
job.
give me money. You spend all of our money
So
on
get a job.
stupid shoes.
You mean my money?
Oh my
Money I
God.
work for?
Yeah, of course it's our
Get a
money when
job.
we're married, but now that we're
Get a
divorced,
job.
you're the only.
We've been separated
Yeah.
for a year.